Ukrainian forces are standing strong. Newsmax correspondent Sarah Williamson is live in the capital of Kyiv, where another 35-hour curfew is in place. Good morning, Sarah.
Yes, good morning, Alison. That's right. It's been a rather intense morning here in downtown Kyiv, where we have been hearing rounds of outgoing artillery fire throughout the course of the morning. And I have seen a lot of military movement on the ground here just outside when I went around this morning. And we are currently, as you mentioned, in another 35-hour lockdown, which normally means that the Ukrainian forces are gearing up for another large-scale offensive, and some heavy fighting is likely to take place later on today. Now, earlier this morning, though, the mayor of Chernihiv, Vladislav Atrashenko, announced that the city is back under full control of the Ukrainian military and the territorial defence. Now, this is a city up the north of the country that has been completely battered recently, with several civilian casualties and losses to their utilities and completely destroyed infrastructure up there. And also in the Kyiv Oblast, just 30 miles west of the city centre, a town of Makariv was liberated yesterday after days of fierce fighting. So the Ukrainian military have certainly been making ground up the north of the country, and hopefully they can keep up this momentum. Alison?
All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. Rob?
All right, Alison. A lot of our focus, of course, has been on the war in Eastern Europe, but the midterm elections are getting closer and closer. Now only 230 days away until November the 8th, and we're already in spring now. Will we see any changes from Democrats who are running in close races?
Yeah, it's going to come fast. For more on this, let's welcome in Chairwoman of the Republican National Convention and the host of the Real America podcast, Ronna McDaniel. Ronna, welcome back to Wake Up America.
Great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, Ronna, all right, Putin's price hike. We're hearing that from the administration and some media outlets. The national gas average is now $4.24 a gallon. It's dropping about 1 cent from yesterday. Is this Putin's price hike?
This is Biden's gas hike. We know this. Biden killed the Keystone Pipeline day one. He shut down drilling on federal lands. He has not invested in American energy. He's keeping one campaign promise. I'm going to kill American energy. I don't care if the American people are paying more at the pump. They are. 34 states are now paying over $4. It is crazy. People in Texas are going to Mexico to get cheaper gas. This is the Biden gas hike, and the American people know that, and they're not happy.
Ronna, why do the Democrats always come up with the absolute best catchphrases? I think about Putin price hike and just that, the alliteration, that is so clever. It reminds me of Hillary Clinton 2016 during the debate when she came out with trumped up trickle down economics. And I thought to myself, well, there you go again, Hillary Clinton, just so darn clever. I'm kidding, of course, but I want to put up a tweet from Bloomberg Opinion. This came out over the weekend, and this to me it makes you laugh when you read it. Inflation stings most if you earn less than $300,000 a year. Here's how to deal. Number 1, take the bus. Number 2, don't buy in bulk. Number 3, try lentils instead of meat. Number 4, nobody said this would be fun.
Oh my gosh.
What are lentils, first of all? Seriously, and more than 70% of Americans don't have access to a city bus, by the way.
Totally. And then they're telling people go buy electric cars, which aren't even available. Like, people have money to go buy an electric car.
Right.
The lentils thing is crazy.
Seriously, though, Betsy McCoy is off camera right now, and she's shaking her head. I don't know what lentils are. Maybe it's just me.
I've never
I don't
had
know.
a lentil.
And
Maybe
I do buy in bulk.
like
I go to
lentil
Costco.
soup.
I buy the pound of peanut butter, right? That gallon drum. We have that.
Almond butter.
I have that too, Rob, and that is a very worthwhile investment. But the American people are hurting. The average American's going to pay $2,000 more in gas this year. The Biden administration does not care. They have a simple fix. We'll unleash American energy, which is cleaner, which is better than buying from a dictator in Russia and Venezuela. If the environment's their issue, why are we buying from polluters? They do not care. And they said from the beginning, Biden said it on the campaign trail, I'm killing oil and gas. He's done it. And he doesn't care that the American people are suffering as a result. And that's why we're registering voters at the gas pump right now. And voters recognize this is the Biden gas hike. They don't fall for their empty rhetoric because they know their actions have led to a lot of harm and hardship for the American people.
Ronna, you brought up a great point, the fact that the cars, they're like $60,000 a piece. Somebody else said, just drive slower or don't put your air or heat on.
Don't hit the gas.
Just take a bicycle to work.
Yeah. Right. How is this going to affect the Democratic Party going into these midterms?
Well, the gas hike on top of inflation, on top of supply chain issues. I mean, we all know this has come from Biden policies, and the American people are smart. They get it. We've seen him really suffer in the polls as a result, and we've seen massive movement to the Republican Party from Hispanic voters, African American voters. We're seeing it with our voter registration across the country, and I think Democrats are worried about the midterms, rightly so, but it's their own fault, because they're choosing to ignore the American people on the issues that really matter to them, because there is a fix. Let's unleash American energy.
We're tight on time. I'd love to make some news this morning. I know the 45th president supports this. You are considering, I know you're not decided, that's what you've said yet, but you're considering a fourth term as chairwoman of the RNC, which would be unprecedented, but possible. Is that a yes or no?
Rob, we got to win the midterms. Way too early. Let's win the midterms, then we'll make those future decisions.
See
but
the way I
nice
phrased
try.
that, though?
And then she'll come on our show and
trumped up trickle-down
announce it.
economics. You see?
I like it. I'll come to your show and announce if we make that
Looking forward
decision.
to that. Thanks so much, Ronna McDaniel. We appreciate it. Good to see you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.